All right, I'm here with Bruce Deel from City of Refuge.
I was a youth and associate pastor for 14 years and sort of traditional ministry kind of stuff. Went overseas on a lot of mission trips, came to the inner city of Atlanta on a lot of trips, but it was just sort of an outlet. And 12 years ago, I was invited to come down on a little 6-month assignment to close a ministry and sell the property for them. And a few weeks in, we had a little prostitute walk in, and she had been in the lifestyle 14 years and wanted a way out. We introduced her to Christ and a new life, and she decided to bring one of her customers in the next Sunday. 52-year alcoholic, hadn't been in a worship experience in 30 years. He accepted Christ. And over the course of the next several months, drug addicts, alcoholics, homeless dudes, guys and girls getting out of prison just started walking in looking for answers. We weren't advertising, we weren't promoting that we had answers. It was just a draw of the Spirit of God that was bringing them in. And so 3 or 4 months into that 6-month assignment, my wife and I talked, and we realized that God had a bigger plan. And so we decided to accept the pastorate of that little church, and then started a nonprofit called City of Refuge connected to that, and began as an outreach to children from at-risk neighborhoods. So we started an after-school program, and we ran that, and along the way running that, we met those kids' mothers who had issues. They asked if we could help, so we started a single moms ministry. Then we met their auntie or their grandma that had some issues, and we helped them. And on the way to go pick them up in the government housing projects, we passed hundreds of homeless guys in the street. We said, well, how do we drive by them to pick up somebody and not stop and deal with them? So meeting them, then we started meeting their attorneys or the judges that were standing before, and we got approved as the Georgia Department of Pardons and Parole organization. So guys and girls are pardoned and paroled out to us. We're also an alternative sentencing program. So we took this little idea of helping kids, and it sort of went to their mothers and their uncles and their grandmas and then folks we met along the way. And so my wife and the girls and I moved into the ministry center where we lived for 6 years, the first 6 of our 12 years here. And all kind of crazy experiences. We came from a real docile suburban neighborhood where everybody was safe and nice, clean, and we moved into this ministry center and were broken into 34 times and multiple vehicles stolen and guns and knives and fist fights and my life threatened and attempts on our life and all those kind of things. And yet the whole time we knew we were right in the center of God's will. It was a perfect place He placed us. And He started introducing us to incredible people with incredible potential in incredibly dark environments. And so we found that because we were walking in the light, we could go in those incredibly dark environments and bring hope. And so we started rescuing literally men and women out of the trenches, and we started reaching sons and daughters before they ever got to the trenches. And so now 12 years in, we got all these success stories, our wall of fame of all these guys and girls and men and women that are restored, they're redeemed, they have education, they have careers, they have a home, their families be reunified, they've overcome their addiction. Whatever their story is, it's their story, and it sings itself. It's a song that sings itself. And so 12 years in, we're more motivated and excited and energized than we've ever been, because even though the challenges are even greater 12 years than they were 12 years ago, 12 years later the challenges are greater, but the successes have already added up and the opportunities are greater. So that's who we are. We're a nonprofit City of Refuge that provides every resource possible to assist men, women, sons, and daughters who want to make a radical life change. So we want to ease that process for them and make it easy as possible to get better. So that's everything from food, clothes, shelter, recovery, vocational, housing, anything that an individual in crisis would need, we attempt to provide, with the underlying dream of all of that is they come to know Jesus Christ in radical love, in radical fashion, pursue Him, and all those other things will be added to them as they pursue a relationship with Him. You know, it's a simple word that some people don't understand, but it's obedience. That's the only reason I do it. You know, when I read Scripture 400 times, we're commanded to care for the poor and the needy, the widow and the orphan, take in the stranger, share your bread with the hungry, invite into your home the homeless poor. We're invited to give water to the thirsty and bread to the hungry and clothes to the naked. And it's just an act of obedience for me. I believe it's what He's called me to do. And so I don't do it for the results. We don't do it for the radical life change. We don't do it to transform our community. Those are benefits of living a life of obedience.